half a year ago, I bought this 2005 Volvo S60 Turbo. I remember the first time I saw this car sitting in the parking lot when I bought it, and it just looked so sorry for itself. I mean, it had just been completely neglected. The service book was not filled in, and the previous owner didn't provide me with any history of what he'd done or hadn't done to the car. And I guess it was a bit of a gamble. I mean, it could have been a lot worse than it was, but luckily for me, it wasn't. So I limped the car home with 18 psi in the tires because, I mean, the previous owner didn't even care to put air in the tires. And then it sat at home for a little while till I could figure out all the parts that it needed and order them up. And I did a lot of just general maintenance, of course, changing the oil and all of that, filters. I also changed the timing belt and tensioner just to be on the safe side, which was good because the timing belt that was already fitted on the car was some no-name brand that I hadn't even heard of. I changed the spark plugs, I changed the full rear brakes, I changed the ABS sensor on the left front of the car and the ABS ring, which was cracked. I put a bolt in the drive shaft because the drive shaft was just hanging on by nothing really. So I'm basically amazed that it didn't pop out all by itself. So that was lucky on my part. So I got all of that figured out, and also before taking the car to an inspection and getting it road legal, I had to replace the exhaust system because it was completely rusted through. Obviously, with the car not being cared for much, probably hadn't seen a underspray in ever, pretty much. And then I took the car for an inspection, and it passed with flying colors. So I started driving the car. And I mean, this car is so comfortable. This is my daily driver, and it is just like driving on clouds, like going to and from work. And what I really love, especially now in winter, is just this is my first piston engine petrol car. So the amount of time it takes for the car to get warm is so much shorter than it did with my C30 going in winter when my diesel heater wasn't functioning. So this car starts blowing hot air within like 2 minutes of leaving home. So that is a massive plus this time of year. And I mean, it is just better for a car like this to be going like short journeys like I need for work. So this car was really on its last leg, and I've done my part to make sure that this car is going to have a long, fruitful life, I hope. I am going to be selling this car in about half a year. When I go to university, this car is going to have to go. But I do hope that I'll find a nice home for this car, someone who will appreciate it and look after it. Because this really is the sad part. This could have been like a really nice example of one of these cars. Because it's only done 150,000 kilometers. That's just under 100,000 miles for Americans and UKians. So, and the car is like, there isn't a speck of rust on the underside or in the body anywhere. I mean, it's amazing how little rust is on this car considering the state that I found it in. I mean, there's like nothing on it, but it had been completely neglected. And that does just go to show how good these cars are built and the quality of materials in these cars. I mean, comparing to my C30 or my RX-8 or like anything, this car is just so there is just so little rust on this car compared to what you would expect from mileage in years. It is amazing. I just got the car on winter tires. Of course, I'm running 18s in summer, and these winter tires are 16 inches. I bought the wheels off my brother's S60, the winter rims that came on that car. Obviously, I didn't use those tires that were on there. I got a new set of Goodyear Ultra Grip Ice 3s, for 4 of those on here. And yeah, I mean, with 16-inch winter tires, this car is like even more comfortable than it was before. It's like this is just an absolute comfort machine right now, at least compared to all of my other cars, which I mean isn't really saying much, but you know. And I find the more that I drive this car on more spirited roads like this compared to what I usually do, it is really nice to drive also this car. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, the manual, no, not the manual, the automatic gearbox is of course a big drawback, but I mean, can't really choose when you're buying a car this cheap, so. And for being done like an old automatic, I'm actually pretty impressed with how it's doing. So, I mean, it's not terrible, it's just, it is terrible, okay, it is terrible, it's not completely terrible. So that's a win in my book for an automatic. So I've been driving this car daily for the last 2-3 months, and it has really been very good. So all the work that I've done has really paid off. This car has been starting every time, and no hiccups anywhere, no misfires, nothing. Just smooth power delivery all the time. One thing that has occurred is that there was a bit of like harsh noises from the drive shaft, I gathered, so I ended up replacing the drive shaft, the left front, which was the one that was missing the bolt. So I'm thinking it probably, that drive shaft probably got damaged from all the time that it's been in there, not being fastened down. So I mean, shouldn't be a big surprise to anyone really. But yeah, so I replaced that, but now the motor mounts are in line to be replaced, because I have some really like harsh vibration noises coming from the engine mounts, I think. So I'm looking forward to getting those replaced. I'm waiting for a new PowerFlex top mount, and I've got a new lower torque mount. Since I started driving this car, it really hasn't missed a beat. It is a great car, and the fact that someone had just given up on this completely and sold it for cheap, pretty much expecting to sell it for parts or as a part out, or as a for someone to fix it. I mean, someone gave up on this car, and this car is worth so much more now that I've fixed it up. And I mean, I'm happy. I got a great car for a great price. I just had to fix up a few small things. New cars are so perfect from a technological standpoint that everything is good. I mean, there's no fault, obviously there's flaws with every car, but not to the degree that older cars have. And it's the thing that makes it special. A perfect car doesn't have a personality. A car with flaws does have a personality, and that is something we're losing. So I'm really happy to have had the opportunity to fix up this car and hopefully sell it on to someone who's going to drive it for maybe hundreds of thousands of kilometers more. That would just be magnificent, because this car is worth that. It is such a good package mechanically, so I just hope that this car will have a great life after me too. So obviously I'm very loyal to my cars, and I think that's probably almost a drawback of me in general as a person. I'm too loyal on things. So I really, the C30 and RX-8, I mean, if I'm able to, I'm going to keep those cars forever, and I mean ever. They are just so good, and this car is also good, but at the same time, talking about personalities and all of that in cars, while this car does have personality and I really like it, it just doesn't match the level of personality that you have in the C30 or the RX-8, which both of those are cars with big flaws, which, as I said, that's part of what makes them so personable. So, but still, I am going to miss this car when it's gone. I already know that for a fact, because it is a good car. And that's the end of that. Goodbye.